Welcome back, dude and dudettes, to another wild episode of Send It Mate. We're here to talk about all things hunting and outdoors. And today, we've got something that'll keep your gear running smoother than a dingo's getaway.
That's right. Our show is brought to you by High Caliber, the gun and knife oil company that knows how to keep your firearms and blades in tip-top shape.
High Caliber is like the secret sauce for hunters, anglers, and outdoorsy folk everywhere. It's like the magic potion that makes your gun and knives happier than a dog with two tails.
You know, guys, I've been using High Caliber oil for a while now, and let me tell you, it's the duck's nuts. My rifle practically sings a lullaby when I take it out hunting.
And speaking of lullabies, ever tried sneaking up on a deer with a squeaky gun? It's a prime way to end up with no venison in the freezer. You'll be hungrier than a vegan at a bacon festival.
Absolutely. But with High Caliber oil, your gun will be quieter than a ninja in moonlight. You'll be stalking your prey with the grace and stealth of a mountain lion.
High Caliber doesn't just keep things quiet, it also prevents rust and corrosion, so you won't find your gear looking like it spent a season at the bottom of a creek.
That's right, and for you knife enthusiasts out there, High Caliber has got you covered too. Your trusty blade will slice through anything smoother than butter on a hot biscuit.
So, folks, don't let your gear become a rusty, squeaky mess. Head on over to highcaliber.com.au and grab a bottle of their oil today.
And if you use the code SENDITMATE at checkout, you'll get a special discount. I say again, use the code SENDITMATE for all your oil slick, stealthy hunting needs.
Thanks to High Caliber, you'll be sending it in style and silence.
So, gear up, oil up, and send it, mate. High Caliber, the ultimate oil for the ultimate hunter.
We're back.
Oh shit.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back for another episode of Send It Mate podcast. I'm Caleb.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
Woo!
And this is our last episode for the season.
It is. It is our last episode for season 3.
And what a season is it?
We may do a cheeky Christmas special, but we'll let everyone hang in for that one.
I'm fucking way to let the cat out the bag, mate.
Yeah.
By the way, everyone, the special's coming.
Now that's Josh. Instant gratification.
Yeah, that's
Fucking
Again.
Fucking A.
No, we got to leave people wanting more. But yes, there might be a cheeky Christmas special. But yeah, unfortunately, it is the last episode of this season. So it's going to be a good one.
We're going out with a bang.
out with an absolute fucking corker.
No pressure to our special guest tonight, Dan, who is actually one of our most interactive listeners of the show.
Yeah, for sure.
He
How you
jumped-
going? How you going, Dan?
Yeah, not bad. Self, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, it's Monday night. We're recording a podcast. What else would we rather be doing?
Caleb's going as good as he can for looking like that, so yeah.
Hey, settle down. Dan is a man with a fine ginger beard like myself. I'm liking what I'm seeing on this Zoom chat.
It's a luscious beard.
How long have you been growing that thing, Dan?
Since about last October, and I only just trimmed it back 2 weeks ago.
Fair
Hey.
effort.
Fair of it. Well, it's like they say, if you haven't got a beard, then you're a girl. I don't know who says that. I just made that up.
Girls
I was-
can have beards, mate.
I was going
They can, actually.
Beards down under.
beards down under. Yeah.
I think the saying is if your dad doesn't have a beard, you've got two mums.
Oh yeah, that's a great song by the Beards.
Oh God.
Yeah, everyone play it at home. Google the Beards. They're a band that only write songs about beards. SA boys, they're great.
Anyway, what better way to finish the season than to have one of our most interactive listeners, avid fan of the podcast, Dan. So I think what we might do is get to know the man and find out a profile of someone who actually listens to our bullshit.
Yeah. I'm interested in to know how you got on to listening to the podcast.
Randomly searching for podcasts, like just trying to find a hunting podcast I can relate to that's actually over here and a bit of comedic value to it.
Yeah.
And stumbled across you guys. pissed myself laughing for the first few episodes and haven't stopped since.
Well, there you go.
I appreciate the feedback, mate.
What a beautiful origin story.
See, that is a great origin story.
It is. It is.
Well, it's good to know that we're searchable and people can stumble across us without recommendations. So there you go.
Yeah. Oh, I got to take my hat off to you, mate. You're like Caleb said, you're one of the most interactive listeners that we have, but you're on point with everything. You just fucking, as soon as episodes released, bang. What do you reckon about this, fellas? You should check this out. It's fucking good.
He's a thinker.
It makes us, I could appreciate, let me rephrase it. I do appreciate having at least one person who appreciates us, because it means we might be doing something right.
Buy a dog, Ryan.
I appreciate the content you create.
Who are we kidding? I'm just there for comic value.
All right. Well, let's not all fucking have hand shandies all around. Let's get into the formatted questions and find out about Dan. Mate, where are you from?
Originally Lake Macquarie, moved all over the place, and currently in the Hunter Valley, actually, in New South Wales.
Stunning area.
How long you been there for?
10 years. Previous place in Bundaberg.
Do you drink rum?
Used to. A lot of.
They used to call it black penicillin. It'll cure fucking COVID, mate. 100%.
It'll also cure your need for peace as well. It brings out the violence in everyone.
It's fight juice.
No, did you get violent on or angry on rum?
No, I never did, but some people do.
Yeah.
I know black penicillin, it may not be black going down, but it's black coming up.
Yeah, mate, so I had a couple of rough nights on the old go juice, did you?
Yeah. More than a few.
I think we all have on the old fight juice. All right. Dan, what is your favourite food?
Either pasta bake, homemade, or just got into smoking, and I'd have to say smoked pork at the moment.
Smoked pork?
I thought I was going down a different different
just got into smoking.
Yeah, just got into smoking.
A couple of billies in the morning really gets the hunger going, you know. Smash some kafers after that.
Oh, God.
9 a.m. kafers run.
I got to admit, potato bake is a fucking good choice because there's always leftover at a barbecue, and it always gets eaten, though, before you leave.
Did you say potato bake or pasta bake?
Pasta bake.
Pasta bake.
Pasta bake.
Different.
Sorry.
Yeah. Either or. Both
Yeah,
fucking
both of
banging.
them. We had pasta salad bake tonight, actually. Yeah, it was
Good segue, Josh. Now, pasta bake goes all right. Now, I did see on your Instagram, in terms of smoking, now, I did see you were making your own smoker, and then that sort of parked itself, and then I saw an upgrade. So did you make one and then buy one? What's the story there with the smoking?
I kind of got a bit distracted with making one. It was, that idea was kind of lost with what I had, because I had an old diesel tank and found it a bit hard to try and clean that residue out. So I went and bought a small one, started off there, and then progressed to the one I have now a couple months ago. Got bored during lockdown, so just stuff it, butchers open, why not?
Nice.
Ended up making that fuel tank into some air rifle targets. Just get the little plasma cutter out and cut rabbits and cats out of them, sort of thing.
Yeah, good on you.
Resourceful. I like it.
Your targets actually are bloody clean. You're obviously all right with the plasma cutter because the last time I tried, fucking hell. Didn't look like a rabbit.
There's another useful tool. There's another useful tool called a grinder.
I'll have to get myself one of them.
Clean up a few edges.
That's true.
Love it. So, smoking pork, have you got a recipe or anything? What's your go-to? How do you treat your pork?
Just usually use that John Henry's pecan rub and throw it in for about 3 hours and then give it a wrap for about 4 hours at between 100, 150, and it just falls apart.
Yeah,
You're making me hungry.
That's what you want. We just had dinner. Settle down.
Yeah, I'm a big boy though.
It wasn't like that. It was your shitty fucking Audi in the oven chicken. No salt, pepper,
Mate,
nothing.
I don't have time to get home from work and fire the smoker up and then
We're discussing morsels
Be
of proper
better.
culinary value.
I'm sorry. All right, Dan, what was your first job?
Shoveling ice at an ice factory at Rainbow Beach, actually.
Fuck, that's new.
It's about
Shoveling ice.
13.
Wow.
That
How,
is,
can you run us through that? Are you talking about like the bags of ice that you buy at the servo? You like shovel ice into those?
'Cause we don't know what Rainbow
Yes.
Beach is either.
Rainbow Beach is up near Gympie there. But yeah, essentially what you buy from the servo in the pack of ice depends on the ice machine you got. I think they had a 3-ton ice machine and a 2-ton. So Saturday and Sunday, usually shoveling ice, packing it, and stacking it away in the big freezer, ready to go to the shops.
Jesus.
Do they still do that now? Do you know, or is they have like machines that do that for them?
I have seen in Newcastle there's a machine at a servo where you rock up and throw your esky under pretty much. But I wouldn't be surprised if they've still got them kicking around in odd places.
Fucking hell, I thought that was all automated, that process. Fuck.
So that's insane. So what, you'd have like a massive hopper that would release out all the ice and then just be there with a bag and a shovel just fucking going at it.
No, well, you have a room, like the machines to be up top, ice get made, sent straight down into the ice room, and then you'd shovel it into a hopper that would feed it into the bags just outside the room, pack them, seal them, and that.
Because I'm just picturing like a bunch of 13-year-old lads, one bloke's holding the bag open, the other guy's there with like a big ice shovel just fucking trying to tip it in.
That's exactly what I'm picturing, man.
And there's another bloke there who's the tyre. Like that's the job that everyone wants because he just stands there with the zip ties and just ties the bag up. Fuck.
That is fucking different, man.
No, not exactly.
That is like really out there. That's probably the most peculiar job I've ever heard.
For a first job is
That is the
at 13.
best.
Yeah.
The
Normally
best
it's like
first job.
Mickey D's or something. You know, I don't know.
Shoveling ice. I like it. All right, Dan, if you could trade places with anyone in the world, who would that be?
To be honest, it'd probably actually be Adam Weatherby, the owner of Weatherby Rifles, just for a week, just so I could send a whole heap of rifles my way.
You're a Weatherby fan.
Yep.
Oh, Terminate podcast. Oh shit.
That's okay. I'll get you box of juice.
I actually have an issue with my Seiko, man. I'm not real keen on my A7 at the moment. It's got some extracting issues, and it keeps rattling my bases loose, and that's even after lock tightening them. But yeah, Weatherby's are all right. They're not too bad. They're just they're just
They're just not Josh spec.
yeah.
There's nothing wrong with them. They're just
They're
not.
all, I did have a look at my friend has that rifle that you said to check out. I think it was the Weatherby Mountain. This is ages ago.
Backcountry.
Backcountry. It's light as fuck. It is ridiculous. He's got it in 280 Ackley, and it's
In the 6 lug action, I'm pretty sure it's 4.9 pound rifle. In the 9 lug, I think it's around 5.6 or 5.9.
yeah, 4.9 pounds fucking light.
Yeah, wow.
That's a great stalking rifle.
Yeah. You pick it up and you know when you pick something up or go to pick something up and you expect, like, your brain makes this connection and goes, oh, it's going to weigh roughly this amount, so you need to use this much force. And you pick it up and you're like, fucking hell, it's lighter than my dick, man. Like,
Not saying much.
it's fucking light, dude. It's fucking light.
How much does a pin weigh?
Piece of paper.
So how come you started shooting Weatherbys, mate? Is that just something you've always been into, or did you cross over and come over from another brand?
Well, my first rifle was actually a 223 Weatherby. And then I went to Ticker, had a bad experience with that.
What happened there?
So bought a brand new rifle, $3,600. About 8 months later, the chamber's blown out to the point I couldn't even resize the cases.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And that's all factory loads.
fuck.
What was it? Just like your particular rifle was out of tolerances, or did they figure out what was wrong with it?
At the time, I didn't look into it, didn't know enough, so I just took it in and let the gun shop deal with it and said goodbye. I didn't want anything to do with it. The bolt, honestly, for a brand new rifle, my 80-year-old single shot 22 has a tighter bolt in it.
Wow. Yeah, sounds like all the tolerances are like on either ends of the scale.
It's interesting though to hear people's experiences. Like how many years ago are we talking there, Dan? For the Ticker experience.
That was about 2009, 2010. Like I heard they'd come a long way. I'm just once bitten, twice shy, and stumbled across the Weatherby cartridges and have the 257 Weatherby and just haven't looked back. Like I'm looking into another Weatherby cartridge actually and saving up to afford it.
Mm.
What's that one you're after?
It's a toss up between the 6.5 300 or the 338 378.
Just go to the 338s. Yeah.
Might as well go the whole hog.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah.
Go hard to go home.
Bloody hell. Oh, that's surprising about Ticker, to be honest, because, they've certainly got a good reputation now. And having said that, Weatherby, when I was younger, Weatherby didn't have a good reputation. And then, I guess, depending on who you spoke to, because then other people saw them as a high-end rifle, and now they just seem almost too expensive.
Yeah, when was the last time you shot a Weatherby, Josh?
Like this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Oh, yeah, look, I did.
Yeah, you should probably buy one.
Nah. I'm good. I can't.
Like, in all honesty, each person's interaction with different rifles has got to feel right for the person. I'm not going to tell you that bloody you have to buy one. You got to find the right rifle for yourself and stuff everyone else's opinion. Like, unless there's a known fault through the line and that, who cares? Like, I have a Howler Mini Action in there that light as all buggery, almost had that barrel glowing red hot, and it's still shooting true. And with my Weatherby, my 257, it's a Vanguard, it's a budget line Weatherby, and they're both performing well. I don't fault them. And then you go to the other end, and that I actually had a look and had a go of a Seiko with a timber stock. Personally, their timber isn't that great.
No,
you rest it on something, it's got a dent in it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like, unless you got money to be replacing your stock, or you're buying the rifle just to swap out the stock anyway. I think the days of timber, like stocks being as popular as they were, is slowly dying off.
It is because of what you just said.
Yeah,
it's not practical. You bump it into one thing and then it's dented, and
it doesn't look as cool as a tactical stock.
No, it's just not as robust.
I mean,
it's not as cool.
If my Ticker had a timber stock, fuck me, it would have that many dents in it. It's not funny. So I love the synthetic because I've knocked it, scratched it on bushes, and just the thing is unbreakable.
So Dan, have you got synthetic on all of your rifles?
Not the old Lithgos and not the 22 Magnum. Got a lever action Winchester 94 in a 22 mag. And it goes pretty good.
Yeah.
How do you go with your Lithgow?
They're old, but they're still shooting true. Still dropping rabbits at 100 metres with them.
Bloody hell, that's all right. So we're talking about rim fires.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right.
Well, there you go. And Lithgow is another one where I've heard so many different opinions. Some people swear by them, other people just like, nah, they're shit. But again, personal preference and your own unique experience. So you don't know. I mean, to be honest, when I first bought my ticker and the first time I took it to the range, the mag wasn't clipping in properly and it wasn't feeding. And I thought, fuck, what's going on? Like, I couldn't believe it. I took it back in and he's like, I've never seen this. He literally just swapped it all out and it's never had an issue since. So, I mean, I think sometimes it's just luck of the draw where in manufacturing there are fuck ups and you might just get one that's out of tolerance and a bit shit and it's somehow got through the QA process.
Mass produced rifles, it's any assembly line can have its issues.
Well, it's one of those things like because you've got so many components that come out that get put together with the tolerances, you've got like it has to be within
plus or minus whatever
the ideal size would be. So if you get like a mag and a couple of different bits and pieces that are on the looser end of all of those tolerances, they're not going to fit well together.
Yeah.
It's just shitty luck, really.
Yeah.
But, if it fucking shoots and it works for you, Mickey Mouse, mate.
Woo. Anyway, let's keep rolling with these questions. Dan, do you have kids?
Got a daughter. She's 6 years old at the moment and learning all of my bad habits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
My twin daughters have just turned 6 last week and you can't get away with anything pretty much. They're copycats.
Here's one for you. She went up to her kindergarten teacher last year and dropped her guts. And then the teachers looked at her and gone, what do you say? And she looks at her and goes, I'm just waiting for you to smell it.
Yeah, that's gold. That's gold. Yeah.
Well, I'll counter with the story. It happened yesterday, actually. And I'm driving along in the car and we were talking about names of people and having a bit of debate about how some people are called whatever name they're called anyway. They think it's funny because I have 3 middle names and they think it's funny to sometimes call me by one of my middle names. Anyway, we're driving along and what I thought I heard was my daughter calling me dumb cunt.
She probably was.
Yeah.
And when I clarified, and my hearing's not the best either, and we're driving along in my car with muddies on and it's a bit noisy. And I said, excuse me, what did you call me?
She's like, dumb cunt, Dad.
What she actually called me was Duncan, which is my second middle name. And for the life of me, I thought she called me a dumb cunt.
I'm just going to teach her to call you a dumb cunt from the other room so that every time you think she's calling you Duncan, but then she's not.
Well done, Uncle Ryan.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. All right, Dan, what's the most dangerous thing you've ever done?
Oh, there's a toss-up between two, actually. I was part of my job's working on bushfires, and a couple of years ago it was quite busy. I was sort of in no phone range and snapped a photo of some of the flames at the side of the dozer. I thought, oh, yeah, I'll send it to the missus, let her know I'm safe, send her a text message with it, hey, all good, busy, general text message. Well, my luck, the picture went through, but not the text message.
Yeah.
Oh. And I was out of phone range for the next 5 hours. So you can imagine the ear bashing I got then.
I'll bet.
The second one was changing teeth on a digger bucket, and some of the pins were rusted in. So an offsider was helping me belt that I was holding the chicken stick, and the offsider was swinging the sledgy. A piece of steel actually shot off the chicken stick and straight into my stomach.
Oh.
And we found it 11 days later. Maturity kicks in when you got a magnet. So, yeah.
What?
Wow. The doctor, when he first had a look at it, had to get it stitched up and tetanus. He's there poking around and that. He goes, oh, lucky you're fat. Excuse me? He goes, lucky you're fat, or you'd be in John Hunter Hospital having your intestines stitched up. I looked and said to him, hey, mate, I ain't fat. I'm fucking armoured.
Wow. How big a piece of metal are we talking?
I'll show you. It's right here.
Oh,
Oh, fuck, you got it.
look at this. Show and tell.
Oh, bloody hell.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
About the size of a pea.
Bloody hell.
Bit of shrapnel.
So how far inside you did it go?
Did it penetrate?
Funny story about that.
And was the doctor wearing rubber
I don't
gloves?
know, but they stuck the they had a glass rod probably, I don't know, 8 inches long, and they stuck in through the wound, and only about 3 inches of it was sticking out. And they still couldn't find it.
Good
But I
God.
texted the missus and let her know that I might have been a bit late. I rocked up home early, and she looks at me and she goes, I thought you'll be late. And I walked in, ripped the work shirt up and go, yeah, it looks like you're not the only one that got penetrated today.
I had 5 inches of rod in me.
Bloody hell, man.
Wow. There you go.
That is like one of the unluckiest stories I think I've heard.
So how did they get it out? Did they have to cut you open, or did they do the old keyhole to once you figured out that it was still in there?
Well, after I ripped the stitches out, after the 10 days, I was sitting outside having a smoke, and I looked up, I'm like, hey, there's a magnet there, I wonder. And just started playing with that, called the missus out. She's had a bit of a laugh, and turns out maturity level goes way down. So the next day, ducked to the hospital, and they cut me back open and started trying to find it. And for all what the doctor did, he was very competent at what he did. But yeah, sausage fingers in a small gash, so let's put it that way. Like all buggery the next day.
Digging around in the meat purse, as they say.
You get the only doctor with fucking 4-inch round fingers. Fuck.
Have you got a sweet scar, though?
Oh, I got 2.
Oh, there we go.
So it went in there, and they removed it just down here. That one's starting to fade away a bit. But yeah.
Oh,
Dude.
mate. Pity wasn't over a little bit. You could have put a nice belly ring through both holes.
It looked like a pin cushion.
Oh, shit. Oh, that is, I think, one of the best dangerous things stories we've had.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, what is the best piece of advice you've been given?
Worrying's like a rocking chair. Gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere.
Fuck yeah.
That's fucking outstanding. And it's true.
It's very true. There's no point worrying about something you can't control and doesn't do anything. Just, yeah. I like it. Where'd you hear that one? That sounds like a mum one.
No, actually, it's not. I got it off a movie, Van Wilder, Party Liaison.
Yeah. Fuck yes.
Fuck yeah.
Handing out life, what's it called? Advice, like a fucking champion.
Life hack.
Man, that was a fucking ripper movie. I think I belt fed that like fucking millions of times when I was a kid.
Oh, mate. All those movies were in like when we were about 13, 14, and they were all coming out with those teen movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were good.
Like Road Trip.
Yeah.
Still a classic.
Fuck, that's a good piece of advice, actually. Take that on board, people. Dan, what's your most treasured possession?
That's a toss-up between the Granddad's 22 and the 257 Weatherby, actually.
Ooh.
So are we balancing a bit of historic and nostalgic value with something you just use all the time and you love? Is that the toss-up?
Yeah, probably. Like, the Granddad bought it when he was about 15-year-old and actually used it on a property not too far from where I am now, ride up on the back of a horse and shoot feral pigs in the back of the head with it and keep going.
Like an absolute fucking champion.
There you go.
Have you ever hunted from horseback?
No, I haven't. I actually can't get on horses anymore. had a bit of an injury that doesn't allow me to sit in the saddle.
Oh. Yeah, that doesn't seem good.
Is that to do with the your legs where they sit, or is there something else?
He's basically
it's to do
asking
with how
if
you
you-
sort of sit in that W position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's basically asking if you've got hemorrhoids.
I didn't want to say hemorrhoids, but
What the fuck is that question, right?
I don't know.
No, it's not hemorrhoids.
I think what I'm really trying to.
What happened? But pretty sure tore a tendon in my hip.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Well, some people they're pretty good in the bedroom, and sometimes there's injuries involved. What can I say?
Yeah, what?
You can throw a hip out.
Whose hip are you throwing out?
Everyone.
How many old people have you been fucking? Jesus. No wonder Gladys had to leave in a wheelchair.
All right, recommend a movie to us.
Here we go.
We've just touched on Van Wilder, but if you want us to watch a movie, what do you reckon?
Probably be The Drop with Tom Hardy in it. It's actually not a bad film for being a drama.
The Drop.
I've never heard of that.
I mean, Josh loves Tom Hardy because somehow he thinks he looks like Tom Hardy.
Fucking A.
Where the fuck do you get Tom Hardy's like large and strikingly handsome, and he's got this like quirk about
He's
him?
not actually tall, but yeah.
Don't ruin my
That's all
fantasy, bro.
Got to agree with Ryan.
Very good. What's The Drop about? I haven't actually heard of that one.
It's about a bar sort of where a crime family launders their money through pretty much.
Okay.
But you don't see that side. You just pretty much see the bar basically, but it's got a bit of a twist at the end.
Is it recent?
Probably 5-6 year old, I think.
Oh, there you go.
That sounds interesting.
I might watch that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That sounds good.
this is why we asked this question.
That's right.
I've never
To
even
get
heard
movie
it.
advice.
Yeah. Or Netflix is
Well, why
fucking-
not, Josh?
Netflix can't offer any good shit.
I've seen some of Tom Hardy's earlier stuff, like when he first started doing movies. And I was actually telling someone the other day, he's in a movie and he's a criminal and he keeps going in and out of prison. I can't for the life of me remember the name of the movie.
Batman.
Definitely not Batman. But there's a scene in it where, and he's a bit nuts as well. Anyway, there's a scene in it where he strips stark naked and lubes himself up in his cell, ready for the prison guards to come in. And he's just basically buying himself a bit of time. He loves a fight.
watching what?
Pornhub.
The
Yes.
gay category on Pornhub again?
I've been watching Tom Hardy porn, yes. No, it's a scene in the movie. I was just telling someone about this the other day, which reminded me of it. But it's one of the most bizarre things ever because he's just playing a madman in prison and these prison guards all bust in and he's just like slippery as fuck, just laying into him, just bashing him with his dick out. Which sounds like...
Did he lube his dick? That's the question that everyone wants to know.
It definitely wasn't hard. He was slapping people with it.
Yeah, but is he prepping for a fight or is he just having a wank?
No, prepping for a fight.
Yeah, but he's got to lube himself up. So, does he go all the way or?
It was a good old fight too. It was a good scrap.
I feel like that's something you could do with your pants on.
What?
Just lube yourself up with pants.
No, well, if you're lubing yourself up all over your body, you don't want to not do your dick because everything else is slippery and your dick might get caught.
Sorry, point of order here. Why would you lube yourself up with pants on? Would you not rather be naked? You could get lube on your pants.
Have you ever lubed yourself up with pants on?
Oh, he's too far.
He has. That's definitely a yes.
Those pants slip right off.
Far out.
When you pull your hip out, mate, you've got to fucking do anything to help get your pants off.
Just lube those bad boys in and jump.
Oh, bloody hell. Now, question 10, we've actually already answered in that it was, what is your first rifle? But Dan, tell us a little bit more about that first rifle of yours.
Well, I just actually got my open license. I had a miner's license for a bit, just helping on the property with some pests and stuff. had a decent job, walked in and said, hey, been told I should get a 223 as a first rifle. Can I have a look? And the gun shop's like, yeah, sure, of course you can. Here's all our 223s and that. Started shouldering them, just seeing how they felt. And I kept coming back to it. And I said, yeah, no, this is the one. I'd never purchased a rifle before. I was complete naive on how it had to be. And I said to him, look, first rifle, what do I got to do? He walked me through it, PDA, obviously, and all of that. He goes, now, let's talk scopes. And I said, yeah, righto. He goes, what scope do you want to put on? I said, can I have a look through some first? He goes, yeah, what you doing with it? Ruse mostly, I guess. The occasional wild dog. He goes, yeah, you don't want anything too big. So ended up having a Lynx 4x40 on it, fixed power, which did pretty well for me actually learning a lot. And I got rid of it a couple of years ago. The scope was playing up, and I didn't, after all the rounds I'd thrown down the barrel, I didn't know whether it was the scope or the rifle. Turns out it was the scope. Fella I sold it to, he's like, yeah, no, still shooting thumbnail at 100 yards. He goes, you want it back or you want me to put more money on it? So no, mate, we agreed on what we agreed on and that. And from what I understand, he's still using it as an everyday rifle sort of thing.
Oh,
But,
there you go.
yeah, top rifle.
You mentioned something about Leopold. Have you progressed with your scopes to Leopold?
Nope.
Yeah.
Stuck on Burris at the moment. I'm really actually, was it about 4 years ago, I put a Burris full field E1, 6 to 20 by 50 on the 257, and it's going pretty good. It's nice, crystal clear for my eyes. Like, same with scopes. It's got to fit whoever's shooting it, really. But yeah, the Howard Mini action, it's got a Nikon M223 on it, which is a 5 to 16 by 40, I think it is. And that goes really well on that one too. Like, haven't really ventured too far into Leopold or Bushnell or anything like that. I've just found what I've been comfortable with and can afford easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything comes down to that budget. No, I say that because you mentioned in the chat about having a look at a Mark IV Leopold. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there you go. Well,
No.
No?
I think you're getting confused. There's been many a chat with Dan, and
It's just a solid no.
No?
probably lost in all the chats we've had with Dan. So there you go. All right. Now at this point, we've finished with all the structured questions. So we'll do what we normally do and take Dan way back to when he first started venturing outdoors and try and find out where his love of the outdoors, because we know he has a job where he's outdoors now and he looks like a bit of a bushman, let's be honest. So how did you first find yourself outdoors, hunting, fishing, whatever it was? I'm assuming as a kid, or was it a bit later on? Talk about your outdoors experience, Dan.
When I was a kid, we were actually pretty much 20 foot off Lake Macquarie. Always out in the boat, always fishing. Moved around a bit, found ourselves in Rainbow Beach where I was out in the surf a lot, snorkeling, surfing,
Shoveling ice.
fishing a lot, and then moved up into the Bowen Basin. Parents got a property and started trying to help with cattle work and stuff like that. Sometimes more hinder than help, I reckon. And picked up a rifle to knock off some bunnies, started having fun with that, and went from there. Had a job about 6-7 years ago where a lot of land management, so control of weeds and feral pests for clients, where they'd do rook holes and stuff where that meat would then go to be donated to other organisations as food. Then worked on a property where I was out every weekend, knocking roos over pigs, rabbits, deer, throw the deer in the freezer. Oh, yeah, we're getting low. Let's go out and get some more. And, yeah, the drought sort of finished that job up. And in the job that I'm in now, where I have, in the 3 years I've been here with this job, I think I've only spent 12 days in the office.
Mate.
Jesus.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what is your role now?
Technically, it's called an environmental field officer.
Okay.
But it's a lot of machinery operating, whether it's in river systems or trails, bushfire work, construction of dams and contour banks, stuff like that.
So real sort of agricultural construction sort of stuff.
Yeah, yes. Sort of half agricultural, half sort of environmental earth moving, if there's such a thing. Like stabilising riverbanks on the outside of river bends so they don't chew out more and take more land, or with structures in the river sort of thing, tidying up certain spots so the river can either slow down, because the main focus on the rock and log structures we actually put in the rivers is to slow the energy and the flow of the water down. So which then slows down the soil erosion and protects those banks, gives it a chance to dump sediment there.
Oh, wow.
And can also create habitats for fish and stuff. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's probably something we don't really think about because you kind of just think rivers take their natural course and do whatever.
I didn't even think there was prevention to stop erosion on rivers like that.
Well, I think Dan in his chat with us called it river maintenance. Would that be the best way to describe it?
That's probably the best way to describe it. And it also, with slowing the river down, it also can prevent low-lying air. I say can prevent sometimes, depends how much water falls from the sky, but can actually slow down or minimise flooding in certain areas due to slowing the water down and giving the rest of the water that's coming in there a chance to escape. So it's not a big torrent, and then next thing the banks burst and, well, you get floods.
Mm-hmm. Now, is the work you undertake, is that something, I mean, what starts that process? Is it field officers being out there and noticing, hey, I think we have a problem here, or is there some sort of prediction that happens from the boffins back in the office, or how does it all actually come about and you end up doing what you do?
Well, some of it can actually be landholders calling up and going, hey, look, I've got a bit of an issue here. Can you just come out and have a look? It can stem from there. Mm-hmm. It can be organisations going, hey, we've got this in place. We want to sort this out and go through the rivers, and we've picked out key spots where you need to go. Or, yeah, it can be either. But, yeah, and we can offer some assistance with farmers and stuff like that. It does come at a bit of a cost. Like, say, if we come in to repair it or do the maintenance for the creek, there's usually a condition of, hey, fence that area out sort of thing. Just keep the cattle out of there so it's helping the bank to all the sediment to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
There you go. Sounds like an interesting job. And 3 days in the office out of 3 years is pretty bloody good.
Well, it shines a bit more light. Like for me, it shines a little bit more light on the positive impact that humans can have on the environment as well. Because we always hear about the negative stuff with like climate change, that sort of bullshit. But like, I didn't even know that was a thing. That gives me a little bit of hope that humans aren't completely destroying everything.
Like, prime example, next time you're at a river, have a look at the inside bend of the river, and if it's higher than the outside bend, I guarantee you that outside bend will start chewing out, or already is chewing out a lot more.
Yeah, like I said, you just sort of take it for granted and think rivers do their thing, but...
That's, yeah, like the Murray here, it's sort of our outside bends are quite high compared to our inside bends, just like from what I remember, like I haven't been to the river much, but yeah, it always seemed like it was not getting eroded at all.
That's because there's no fucking water in our rivers.
Yeah, there's no flow.
It all starts where he is, up there.
Yeah, we don't have an overly massive current. Like compared to SA, and then you follow the Murray up in a state, it there's certainly a noticeable increase in your current flow, and then we sort of get to Adelaide or into SA, and it's sort of not that great. I mean, as you know, the Murray mouth has to be dredged pretty much yearly just to open it up because we've got no flow down here. So it's not something that we think of, I guess, river erosion here. Well, as a general people outside of like an environmental job.
In all honesty, you guys could have a flatter section of the Murray where, like up here, you can have sections of creeks, rivers that'll drop 2, 3, 4 meters over 100 meter span. And yeah, it can be quite like where the water speeds up, and that usually you'll have a lot of your damage, and can also be lack of vegetation along that bank as well that'll help cause that too.
You'd have a lot more feeder creeks and things as well, like runoff up your way than what we do down here.
Yeah.
A lot more.
Now, you mentioned vegetation. You actually gave Josh quite a while back, and he was trying to control some of his weeds, Dan, and you gave him a bit of advice, telling him he was spending way too much money, basically. But no, so that's another part of your role, is it? The weed control, or was previously?
It was previously with the land management job I used to have, looking after weeds up here, and that. Basically, the weeds in the Hunter Valley. If you want to learn about the weeds, you go to a weed management job, and I guarantee you'll know every weed within a week. They're bloody everywhere up here.
Yeah, wow.
Same down here. It's just uncontrollable. It's fucking ridiculous.
Oh. It's not a case of uncontrollable. It's a case of the right methods for the right weeds.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to go out in winter when blackberry has no leaves on and spray it with a chemical. That's just pointless. You're going to target it when it's actively growing. And there is some weeds that are quite challenging to control due to how they behave with chemicals. Like, there's one, I don't know if you guys have it down there, but it's bloody everywhere up here, African boxthorn. You can read the rate of a chemical and go, yep, that's the right rate, I'll put it in. Well, no, it's too strong, and all it does is drop its leaves and then come back 3 months later. So it's about dosing down the chemical rate so the plant will absorb all of that slowly, and it's a slow kill.
Yeah, because you don't think about that. You think, oh, yeah, if I make it stronger, it'll kill it.
Well, you're exactly right, Caleb. I tried it at the recommended dose, and then it didn't work. And then, so in my mind, I was like, oh, I've just got to put more glyphosate in. And that shit's not cheap. So
if you're targeting blackberry, I'll message you through a rate that'll kill blackberry for you. How's that sound?
Yeah, thank you. And you got anything for broom?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of stuff that kills broom. Trust me.
What the fuck is broom?
The blackberry, actually, I found, to be honest, just petrol. Like, I remember one day I'm spraying petrol all over this blackberry, and then I had to go do something else. So my intention was to burn it. And I come back and I left it to go do something else, and I forgot about it. And I was like, oh, whatever, I'll get back to it. And then about 3 months later, it was all dried, all starting to shrivel up. And
I don't know, buddy. At $1.60 a litre now, that's quite expensive.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, but it worked. It did work.
Funny you say that. We're chemical method to keep the rate down with a certain chemical for cactus is you mix it in a knapsack at about 150 mil of the chemical to 10 litres of diesel, and you go and spray that over the cactus. And what the diesel does is strips the wax off of the cactus so the chemical can go in and work.
Oh.
Yeah.
Would that work the same for, broom?
I'm sensing a
Yeah,
theme.
should. But you can also do that, right, with, say you've got a large introduced species of tree that you want to get rid of, and you do what's called basal barking, and you spray around the trunk, and they say go to about waist to chest height. Depending on the size of the tree, you just go around and coat the whole trunk. I go to shoulder height, depending, and right down to the roots, to the ground level, all the way around, point of runoff, and you come back 3 months later and it's cactus, it's gone. That tree's dead.
Oh. How do you kill native trees? There's way too many.
Basically, you just want to kill everything
I
that
said
grows.
introduce.
I used to put copper nails into the trees, actually, some of them, just to get rid of them.
Did that work?
Yeah, but it's a slow burn. It's real slow.
So does grassland pellets, if you read the label correctly. Everyone thinks, 12 grams for a big gum tree. No. If you read the label properly, it's actually 12 grams per square metre of drip line. So where, say you get rain and all the water drips from the trees, that's classed as a drip line. So if you're going to do grasslands, you throw 12 grams of that out per square metre of drip line. Now, that's depending on what the label says for the actual type of tree you're trying to kill. But taking in mind, if you don't want trees killed below it, you get a decent rain, you're going to kill trees below it.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh.
A lot of science that goes into this sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's a headache.
Sounds like it's going over your head, Josh.
It is. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but I'd rather just kill everything, have a bare paddock, and then good to go. I'll start again.
Not real.
Wow.
You'll run into more issues that way.
I reckon. And you'll get soil erosion and runoff and all sorts.
Well, my theory of getting rid of some of the trees was to allow sunlight to pretty much hit the ground to then promote growth of your
Penis.
Crops?
of your perennial grasses and things. Obviously clear the weed as well, but that was my theory, because it was under all the canopy of the trees, it was so dark that blackberry would essentially grow and then cut off all light getting to that ground, so nothing else could take off. And then it was just a perpetuating cycle. The blackberry would grow because it would thrive in that environment. And, it was just, mate.
No, I can see where you're coming from. And a lot of people don't realise, I only learnt this because I had to learn it for the job, but certain Australian native trees actually kill anything that pokes up underneath them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's certain acacias that nothing will grow under, because in their roots they release a chemical that prevents anything from growing under them. And once that tree dies, you'll find a lot of their seeds that have been dropped will start shooting and coming up, and you'll have a lot of regrowth after it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just learning your trees in your area, obviously getting the okay to clear them is a big one.
Oh, it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission.
No.
If that's your excuse, is it easier to get out of silver bracelets than it is to actually read the book?
Depends if you've got a Paperclip.
My middle name's Houdini.
That's really interesting. We didn't think about this stuff. We take it for granted. It was actually really interesting, Dan. I had no idea about any of this. Now,
Caleb doesn't get out much, man.
oh, fuck off. Anyway, we want to talk to Dan about a bit about what he does in his job, and that's operating a dozer. Now, something you brought up in the chat was when we had the episode around our bucket lists. And Dan mentioned that his bucket list item was to operate a dozer on some bushfires. Dan, I'd love you to go into that a little bit and share some of your experiences, because you did mention it was one of the most dangerous things you've ever done in fighting the bushfires, but I don't think we can imagine what it would be like to be on the ground in that situation. So yeah, if you'd tell us a little bit about your experiences there, that would be awesome.
First off, it is dangerous, but it wasn't really the fires. It was one of the most dangerous things. I was dealing with the missus after I sent the picture and not the text. I know she would have killed me if she seen me that night. But yeah, it probably stems back from because Dad actually used to do them when I was a kid. And so I was like, oh, yeah, Dad does it. So, yep, I want to do it. I want to give it a go and see if I'm actually good enough in the machine to be on those fire grounds. And it can be quite challenging. I will tell you now, I am no way saying that I'm the best at it and I'm good enough. I'm always learning, and it is a challenge. It's always, can I beat the fire to here? And we're not sent into some of the stuff that you guys see. It's usually, okay, got a couple days, we want this track cleared, or we want a brake put in to slow it down so we can get an edge to light a backburn off and send it back if the weather's right. And in all of that, you can have RFS trucks with you. Well, up here, it's the RFS. I don't know what it is in South Australia.
CFS.
But yeah, you can have them working with you. And there's some times that I don't even remember seeing the sun during our last serious bushfire season, which was it ended about last February, I'm going to say. But I was on those for about 2.5 months, going between 5 different fires from just north of Tamworth all the way down to around Candos, Ralston area sort of thing, which is, memory serves me correct, about an hour away from Bathurst, I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. It's been a while since I've been past there, so it's a bit hard to remember. But, yeah, you can get mixed emotions. When you rock up, you can get, hey, what the fuck are you doing here? And you sort of tell them, and they go, okay, we've been waiting for you. Come here, let's have a look at some maps. Or you can rock up and go, hey, I'm with the dozer. And they're like, oh, yeah, thanks, mate. Come on in. We'll tell you how it's going and what we want you to do. And other times you can rock up and they look at you and go, we got nothing for you to do, just sit and wait. So it can be trying times. And let's just say 12 hours is the shortest shift I did.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So is that like volunteer work that you've done, or is that part of your job?
That's part of my job.
Yeah.
And that's honestly one of the hardest parts you have. Well, for myself, one of the hardest parts I had was being there, knowing that I'm standing next to people that aren't getting paid, that haven't seen a paycheck in a month or two, and I'm getting paid. So I just never talked about it. It wasn't something that I ever brought up with them. It's just, hey guys, buddy, I'm here to help. What do you want me to do? And if we were doing prep work and stuff like that, like before the fire had come, so got about a week or two before the fire rocks up. Oh yeah, I'm just cleaning this track off. Here, you want to jump in and have a go? Just try and lighten the mood up for them. And I've never been in one of those. Here, can you show us? Like, sure, jump in, have a go. I always feel bad about digging the blade a bit deep. You're like, it's okay, mate. It's dirt. It's fine. I just fill it back in and keep going. It
that's
can be an emotional roller coaster.
What was the hairiest moment while you were dozing that you came across?
I got sent down a trail to clear it off, and there was some big trees that had fallen over, and we're talking 4, nearly 5 foot in diameter trunks. And I found out after the fact that they were planning on sending the fire up towards me, to sending a backburn up to reduce the fire from coming down into where they were, which was lucky that someone actually spoke up and said, hey, he's coming down that track long enough that the weather changed and they couldn't light it from where they would have, which would have got a big gust of wind straight up and sent it straight towards me. But yeah, I've actually got a funny one that, because I got a bit of a warped sense of humour at the best of times.
You have to listen to us, mate.
We just tracked a dozer in to an area, and they wanted to show me down this slope, which you wouldn't drive up in a four-wheel drive due to the loose rock and the steepness of it, but you'll go down it pretty easy in a dozer. It's nothing sort of, you wouldn't really worry about it in a dozer. And the guy that was in charge is like, hey, look, if you're fine with going down this steepness and that, we want to break in around here. If you're not comfortable doing it, that's okay. We'll figure something else out. And I've just jumped out of the dozer, looked down and gone, hey, you want to know the best part about going downhill? He goes, what's that? If you fuck up, you still reach your destination. And he just looked and said, fine, mate.
That's my gold.
Yep, it's true.
I have seen some dozers on some pretty steep shit, and you look at it and you're like, what the fuck? How are they doing that?
What sort of incline is a dozer capable of getting up? Or down? Or down?
Down. Let's go down.
Well, down, as best rule of thumb I can give you, is as long as you've got a full blade in front of you, you can go down it. As long as your tracks are still on the ground, you can go down it.
Wow.
I was in a different job. I was in a D10 in a quarry and had to just knock some stuff over on the front of the bench I was working on. And we had some rain the previous day, and I found where the rain had deposited under the dry stuff, just like soup. And I went from pretty much level to looking straight down at the floor below me. And I said to the loader, yeah, get out of my road because I'm coming down. And sunk the ripper in, dropped the blade and put my feet up on the dash and just went for it.
Ride the wave.
Full send.
Fuck. That's smart, putting the ripper in, eh? You know, slow you down a bit.
That's a lesson learnt from people with far more experience than what I have.
Yeah.
And as the old saying goes, you're either got to be crazy or an alcoholic to be an operator.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
What about going
As
up?
you can see, I ain't drinking.
Yeah, well, that's true. Not a sip. What about going up? Like, do you find yourself having to go up inclines? I don't know.
Yeah, you can. It's usually, I've never measured the angles I've been on going up or down. It's just, hey, let's have fun and send it. But usually you just find it. If it's too steep for you to drive up forwards, which steep slopes going forwards in a dozer can put you in a spin pretty quick. It'll spin you on the spot. So the steeper it is, you just try and get up it in reverse. Just reverse up it, work your way up just as best as you can. And the old saying of ride by the seat of your pants applies in a big way because you can feel everything. Let's put it that way.
Fuck, it must be a bit hairy feeling earth move underneath you, slide around.
Man, I got to admit, I'd like to get behind a D.
Fuck yeah. I just want to fucking send down some crazy inclines. And
So with this, I've got a plan. we'll eventually buy a block to put a permanent range on, and we want to cut some. Once again, we're going to ask for forgiveness, not permission. cut some lanes, like 6 to a K lanes for shooting in. We'll get you over here. We'll hire the dozer. We'll have a good time.
We'll get a couple of dozers and we'll have some battles.
Oh. Yeah. Let's put it this way. Your hourly rate of the dozer is the cheapest part. You're looking at the diesel to run them. It's going to cost you the most.
That's right. We're
But I'll
millionaires by
happily
then.
come over.
As long as we can get it done in a day, then. So yeah, that's why we don't ask for permission. We just go.
Oh, we're definitely going to get 2 dozers and have a bucket fight.
Okay.
He just said it's going to cost the earth, mate.
I don't care. That's on my bucket list.
Why are we doubling up now?
I want a duel with dozers. I'll call it a dozer duel.
I got to admit, like machines have that. Like when you're sitting behind them, you're just like, yeah, I'm a powerful motherfucker right now. I don't know. It gives me a hard on.
Makes you feel like a man. I'll be better than driving the piece of shit that you get behind the wheel every day, though.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. Hey, actually, well, now we're talking about vehicles. I've spotted in your Instagram a Suzuki Jimny. Now, these things we see getting around everywhere in Adelaide, and on Instagram, people go nuts and they deck him out with crazy four-wheel drive gear. And everyone I've spoken to who has one just fucking raves about it. What's your experience with your little beast?
I haven't taken it off the. Well, yeah, that's a lie. Got a bit of heavy rain here. We're going down to a family gathering, and fuck it, we'll swing in and check the river out. And there was a bit of a puddle. May have come up to the bottom of the doors, and may have got a stern death stare from the passenger seat. But yeah, she held true and went through. They are like back in the day. You couldn't kill them, really. They go everywhere. These new ones, like the size of them, doesn't do them justice for the inside. There's a fair amount of room in there. I reckon you fit Ryan in the driver's seat, no problem.
Well, now that we're talking about it, I might go look at one.
Fair enough. Well, there you go. Small on the outside, big on the inside. I don't know if you've ever sat in a Hummer before.
Just like Josh.
But I remember the first time I sat in a Hummer, I was like, fuck, for the size of the thing on the outside, the interior is tiny. Well, that was my impression at the time, because there's just so much wall thickness and of the doors and everything, and the actual interior is tiny. But
then he lost weight.
Get fucked.
You walked into that one.
You were there, if I recall.
What, when you lost weight?
No, he caused me to lose weight through stress. No, he was there. I reckon that was like a motor show when they fucking did those things back in the day. And Hummer had just come out, and we thought, oh yeah, let's go sit in one. Or as in like civilian Hummers had just come out. We went and sat in one. It was terrible.
The Jimny, man, I've always thought it'd be a wicked shooting bus, to be honest. Like jack it up, stick 35s on it, fucking just bash out that front window. Yeah, good to go.
I mean, an old one. I've seen a few old ones get around.
The Sierras are great for that, but yeah, Jimny. Yeah, at least you got aircon.
Personally, with a shooting vehicle here anyways, I wouldn't really go much more than stock tyres going up some of the hills. It's more about your diff centres. If you go, you go a couple inches bigger in the tyres and that, but you change the centre of your weight and that, you start to look at rolling shit pretty easy.
Caleb knows all about that.
Rolling?
Quads.
Oh, God.
I've not rolled anything. What are you talking about?
Didn't you roll a quad?
I mean, I went forward into a ditch on a quad. I didn't roll it.
I thought you rolled it. Sorry, I've been wrong this whole time.
This whole time,
I've been telling everyone you
that I
rolled
a quad. No. I just didn't steer around a corner and went forward into a ditch.
Did you go over the handlebars?
I went over the handlebar. I didn't roll it.
Oh God, I would have paid money to see that.
I can kind of see, Jimmy being so light. If you put 34 or lifted it, change that center of gravity, it'd probably be pretty easy to fucking
Like you see on Insta,
topple.
people do so much shit with them and take them everywhere. But I think the only thing is you can't fit that much shit in there to take with you.
Well,
Yeah,
not with
you
that
just-
attitude.
You just eat what you kill.
Well, there's a new mod come out for them, portal axle, so it takes your diff centers and everything out of the equation and gives you the ground clearance of what the body actually is, not where your diff centers are.
Oh, wow.
Oh, sweet.
Mm.
I was talking to a cocky about it the other week. Actually, he knew a guy who had one, and he was an engineer of some sort, but he machined up his own gearbox so that this thing ran. It revved at $3,000 or $3,500. It would move a half a K an hour, and he reckons this thing would just go through everything. It would like never get bogged. Just kept moving. It was insane, and he took it everywhere.
Are you talking about a Jimny?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. He completely rebuilt the entire gearbox and machined all the extra parts
So
himself.
he just changed the diff ratio. So
he did everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like he has a lot of time and money.
Oh, he's filthy fucking rich. And his
So
wife hates him. So
he paid
no.
someone else to do it, or he actually
No, he did it himself. He was a hobby, like a hobby build for him.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Still wouldn't mind going for a burning one day. The Jimny. I've been in the Sierra, and they were pretty fun. They were very basic. They had like fuck all wiring or electronics in it, and in Darwin, dudes used to just jack them up to get them through the mangroves and that. And they were pretty capable. Slow as fuck, but
Oh, Dan, have you got a shooting rig that you use at the moment?
Not at the moment. I haven't been able to get out for a while with COVID and stuff, but currently working on a Tyrios, actually. I got left here.
Oh, yeah.
And
Daihatsu.
Got to change the radiator in it, the water pump. She's running gold. Just got to cut the back of the cab out, reinforce it, and then put bits solid suspension in it so I can take a weight in the back sort of thing. Just trying to get that all sorted. Got a family member that's going to come up and help us with that. He's pretty handy with modifying vehicles for being bush bashers, and he's pretty handy with the tools.
Perfect.
You need
But it's just trying to get that sorted.
I bet you're hanging to get out a bit more after fucking this lockdown shit.
Oh, not fucking wrong.
What's your take? What's your take on space aids?
I'd get in trouble for it.
Perfect
answer.
Good answer. Yeah. Well, that's a fair point, actually. Now, outside of pest control or any sort of culling you do through work, if you're just going out for fun for a hunt, what is your typical experience now? Like, what do you get up to?
Usually just go out for some meat, really. I haven't been out in a while, sort of thing. It's been hard getting properties. But yeah, mostly going out for meat. If I can, I'll go do some shed hunting.
Mhm.
Like my previous job, I ended up getting, 34 shed antlers in 9 weeks just walking around in the paddocks during my lunch break.
Bloody hell.
Fucking hell.
It's a fair effort.
What species?
Bit of everything?
Fallow and reds. I actually have a fallow matching set and a red matching set.
Hey, fuck yeah. I would like to see that, actually.
So what'd you do with all the sheds that you got?
Funny that they're in my shed.
Sheds in the shed.
In the shed.
Perfect place for them.
Yeah, I've always wanted to make a chandelier of sheds.
What's your favourite deer to eat?
To me, they all taste the same, but probably because I haven't shot one in a while. It's probably chital, actually.
Mm-hmm. I've heard. I have. Wait, I have eaten shittle. Fuck. It seems a little more porky than dairy, if that makes sense. It makes sense in my head.
What a description.
A lot makes sense in your head.
Hey,
Said a lot makes sense in your head.
it does. It does.
Just not out loud.
Yeah. I have trouble making things fucking audible. That's all right.
Now, Dan, something you've chatted to us a little bit about over Instagram is reloading. Is that something you still do? A bit of a passion of yours? How did you get into that?
Well, when I got the 257, it was about $5 a shot.
Yep.
So you
Holy
could
moly.
imagine reloading would save that a bit. Went up from there. Last time I looked, it was about $7.50 a shot.
Yeah.
So
That's fucked.
And you got it down substantially, didn't
sometimes, depends what projectiles I use. I got it down to around $3 a shot.
You're not doing much for the caliber there, promoting it. Fucking hell.
Your range days must be fucking expensive.
Yeah, $3 a shot. Good God.
Running in your rifle will
Hey, you
cost you a
don't-
fair whack.
Hey, you don't buy a Prius to burn rubber.
Bam. Fucking
it?
boom.
I think he's rolled that out a few times.
Yeah. Oh. You hear that, all you fucking Prius motherfuckers out there?
I like it. I like it.
Fuck, that's gold, man.
Oh,
Like the 257, I like it. I'm not going to say that anyone else will like it. At the end of the day, if you like a 308, hey, if you like a 243, that's what you like. I'm cooked on Weatherby cartridges. Don't ask me why. I couldn't tell you, to be honest. Just like them. But yeah, it's just something I like. Like others prefer a 257 Roberts over a 2506 or a 257 Weatherby. Or your 25 303. It comes down to the person. I won't criticise someone on their caliber choices, but I will have fun taking the piss out of them.
Yeah, that's the same with us. We won't, but unless it's Ryan. If it's Ryan, fuck.
buy a 308, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's cool. As long as you guys keep talking about me, any news is good news.
That's a good way to be, man. I've seen people with some like strange, obscure calibers that do the same job as every other caliber. Yeah, so if they like
As
it,
a mate of mine loves to take the piss out of me over it, and he always tells me you can't get deader than dead.
yeah,
That's excellent. I'm stealing that.
fucking A.
Well, you can't. It's true.
You can't get dead. That's the deadest of dead that you can ever be.
Yeah, I got
But
this. Go on, mate. Go on.
we've had fun fucking shooting rabbits with a 4.58 Win Mag, and I've shot rabbits with a 257. It ain't cheap, but it's fun while you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's fun watching that pink mist or the chunks of rabbit just fly into the air, and you're like, "Yep, okay."
That one's a stir fry.
Yeah, it's fucking ready made, mate.
Pre-chopped.
It's fucking Macca's drive-through.
3D jigsaw puzzle.
Oh, that is great.
Don't say that, because Ryan, now being Aspie, is going to go try and put a fucking rabbit
You
back
try and put it
together.
back together.
Got to make sure
With
I
super
put
glue.
duct tape in the car.
Gorilla glue. Wow, Gorilla glue. Fuck.
Yeah.
Gorilla glue.
I got to do it properly. I'm taking epoxy.
So
It's not wood.
Dan, do you get into it? Do you make a night of it when you're reloading? Like, how does it? You did mention getting the kids involved. I don't know how you fucking managed to do that, but
His 6-year-old's really good at maths.
Oh, she was 3 at the time, and she's like, "Hey, Dad, what are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm reloading." She goes, "Can I come in and watch?" I'm like, "Sure, no worries." And so I'd measure the powder, because I do mine all by hand. Personally, I haven't got into electronic scales yet, so it does take a bit longer, but I really don't care. And she comes in, sits up on the stool, and I went to put the shell with the powder in, sit the primer on top, the projectile on top. She just asked me, she goes, Dad, can I pull the lever? I'm sure, go for it. Here you go. So she just started helping me pull the lever down. I helped her, I should say. And just good father-daughter time. And she'd have a good laugh. She'd love it. And then I said to the missus, I said, if you want to shoot this, you got to help me load. So once the daughter went to bed, she'd come out, give me a hand, and we'd smash out 50-odd loads in about an hour or so. Go out next day, those 50 were gone. So, yeah, and I'm getting between, depends on the brass, I'm getting between 5 to 7 reloads for the 257.
That's all right.
Fucking hell.
That makes it a lot more economical.
What brand brass are you using?
Norma at the moment, it seems to be really good. I'm getting around the 6-7 reloads to it. Probably the one that because there's being an uncommon caliber like it is, usually you can only find brass in certain brands, whether it's the factory loads, which I've actually still got some of those, and I've had that rifle for a while. And Hornady were making factory loads for a bit. But, yeah, the Hornadys, they were getting about the 5 reloads and then obviously splitting down them. But the Normas seem to be going really good. Like last time I paid $90 for 50. So, yeah, still getting pretty good wear, in my opinion, 6 to 7 shots out of them.
Hang on, $90 for 50 in the Norma.
Yeah, just a factory brass. The unprimed brass, sorry.
That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Fucking hell.
This was about 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah, inflation now. It's
Double that.
Yeah. And then wait fucking 12 weeks to get it in the mail.
Add some COVID tax and yeah.
Yeah, fuck.
Bloody hell, that's good. Yeah, got some family time in there as well. It's amazing what you can actually capture small kids' attentions with. Like it's the amount of times we're like, fucking you'd struggle to keep them entertained, and then they'll find something random that they're interested in, like pulling the lever on when you're reloading or whatever, and then you're like, wow, we've connected over something completely obscure.
Have you got your daughter behind a rifle yet?
No, not yet. Being as young as what she is, I'd like her to get a bit older and get a miner's license. But at the end of the day, if she wants to, she can. I support it. If she doesn't want to, I'll still be there and support her. I'll just give a shit about it. But, needless to say, at the age she's at, let's just say I can't take her to a petting zoo at all. She likes to tell them that Dad shoots rabbits and that cow looks tasty.
Yeah. My lad was exactly the same.
Yeah, you should raise kids.
Yep. No, teaching them the difference between a pet and a wild rabbit is the difference between whether he thinks he's going to eat it or not.
No, but you can eat a pet rabbit, bro.
Yeah, but whether you should eat someone, I'm talking about someone else's pet. Like go to a friend's
Or you
house.
can eat someone else's pet rabbit, bro.
Yeah, you can't do that. That's true.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's just not etiquette.
If you had a pet
It's
rabbit,
frowned upon, but you can do it.
I'd eat it.
Just because it's got a name doesn't mean it's not edible.
That is true.
So a few years ago, I lived in the burbs, and I actually had I bought a few rabbits, and I just had made a little enclosure for them, and I was like, yeah, fuck it. They used to get out. Fuck knows how they used to get out, but
Digging.
they also fucked like rabbits, and suddenly like 3 rabbits turned into like fucking 20 rabbits.
And you were like,
And
shit, yeah, free meat.
I was like, fuck. I just couldn't give a fuck. Like
Just let them
just
go.
be rabbits. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. And then I thought about eating.
guinea pigs and be rabbits.
No, well, my dog started eating a few, and I was like, oh, whatever. Anyway, they ended up getting out into the front of the house, and I get this fucking letter from the council like a month later saying, oh, you need to deal with your pet rabbits. They're a plague. I rang them up, and I was like, oh, they're wild, mate. Oh, fuck.
Meanwhile, they're white with black spots.
Hey,
Hang on.
Nah, well, they were
Can
all
we-
Rexies.
Can
so
we
you
go
could
back
pass
to
it.
how you blooded your dog on your pet rabbits?
Nah, like he will just. I don't understand. Before, like, so I bought him. I went to Afghan and then I picked him up. Right, so I was on leave, and when I bought him, and then obviously I had to go back overseas. So when I came back, they looked after him. When I came back, I picked him up. They had chickens, right, and he was fine with them. And so I was like, "Oh, I'll get some fucking chickens." Cool, got some chickens. He ate them all. And I'm like, okay. I didn't realise when I was hunting, I was quartering out rabbits and feeding them to him. And I got rabbits, and I just sort of clicked in my head one day. I'm like, because I actually got home and there was just this head of this rabbit sitting on me porch. I'm like, oh, great. By the time I'd gone to the sink, come back out with a garbage bag to put it up and put it in the bin, bear had eaten the head. And I was like, oh, fucking hell. And then it clicked in my head. It was like, oh, he's got the taste of rabbit. I reckon he can smell it. And he was just like, you know, all for it. And then he found out how to get through the gate to the rabbits, and that's it. It was
playtime.
Yeah, it was a fuck fest after
Have
that.
you got dogs, Dan?
Yeah, I got one 7-year-old Corso, Great Dane, cross Wolfhound.
Fuck.
Bloody hell, that's a big dog.
That is a man's dog. That's like a fucking man's dog.
Man, have you ever like run him on Fox's roos or anything?
I've never ran her on anything. She's a pretty placid dog. Like one of the guys on the property I used to work at, he goes, "Oh, you ever taken her out pig chasing?" I said, "No." He's cooked on pig chase, and he goes, "Oh, can I take her out?" I said, I got one rule. He goes, "What's that?" I said, "If you can guarantee she'll stay the same temperament with my daughter, you can take her out. If you can't guarantee, you can't take her out." Because being a big dog, she's very gentle with our daughter, and those pair are bloody always getting themselves into trouble together. If not, one of them's ratting the other one out. But yeah, that like if we walk inside, because we live out of town on a renter block of land, we can walk inside and dog's off, daughter's outside. The dog will stay with her and just watch her. So we know the daughter's safe, and well, who's going to fuck around and find out? Because that dog is scary when she's aggro.
Yeah, that's probably a good thing to do, man. Not put it on an animal while you got a daughter. Actually,
Like we've always had the one rule with the dogs. Like before I met my partner, I used to have a healer as well, and he got a bit old. But yeah, he was brilliant around the daughter, and that when she was a bub.
really, a healer.
Wouldn't let this. Yeah, he was brilliant. Would not let this up, because the dog I got now, she was only about 1 or 2 year old, so still in the puppy phase. He wouldn't let her near the daughter at all until she learned how to behave properly. And he would just lay there, and if she come up close, he would get up, gently walk away, and then chase her away until she learned how to behave properly.
Bloody hell, there you go.
No, that's the old pack hierarchy that kicks in there. There's a fair bit of research that's gone into that. Bloody good.
Please tell us the data, Ryan.
The research you really want to know?
Statistics say.
Oh, it's the hierarchy in the pack. So look at that.
Fucking who's the alpha dog in this room? I don't know.
It's quite obviously the biggest one here.
No. You go belly up to me, my
In
friend.
the pants.
Let's not compare that shit. Fuck. All right. Well, Dan, something I want to ask you is something we ask all our guests. And if you could go anywhere in the world and hunt any species, what would that be? Now, this is something, again, that we've
The chat.
You've flicked us out in the chat, and I'm pretty interested to hear your answers. Or for those who haven't heard it, our listeners out there now, what is your dream hunting species?
Well, there's 3 that come to mind. One's a bighorn sheep.
Hell yeah.
Don't know why, just like them. Another one's a caribou. and the third one would be Kodiak Island for a grizzly bear.
A grizzly.
Oh, shit, yeah. I'd hunt a grizzly.
Thanks, Ryan.
Just letting you know.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, no. So I'm actually, the missus wants to go get a black bear. So I said to her, righto, you go get that. I'll go get a mountain lion.
Yeah, nice.
Planted in the same state, and she can go on one hunt. I'll go on the other.
So do you go hunting with the missus?
I've taken her out a few times. Yeah, like when we were living on the property, used to be out every weekend. I'd take the daughter with us. We'd leave the car on when we'd just hop out for a quick shot with the aircon on, the doors shut, just to knock the noise down with the rifles. And yeah, we'd be doing that. Daughter wouldn't flinch or anything because try keeping earmuffs on a 3-year-old. That's fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Got a
daughter become actually the best spotter I ever had.
Oh, eagle eyes, kids, man. Fucking
kid's
hell.
awesome.
Yeah, they don't miss anything, man.
Well, I got a question with the mountain lion. Would you they hunt them with dogs typically in the States, or would you want to track and pack hunt after a lion, or would you run dogs?
Sort of, I guess it'd depend on how much time I actually had over there.
Mhm.
Like if I had all the time in the world, yeah, I'd go backpack hunt and that. But if it was a short trip, I'd probably go with the dogs
Yep.
just to see what it was about.
Yep. It's pretty gnarly. I've seen a few videos of them, and they, obviously they've got a finder and a chaser, and they'll pretty much just get a scent, chase the cat up a tree, and then you take a shot. Obviously, that's the real fucking basic way of describing it. There's a lot more than that, as you know. But yeah, lion's a good one, actually. Like as you know, I think hunting an animal that has an ability to hurt you, there's something enticing about that. Like it almost levels the playing field.
Yeah.
You just like, yep, okay, you're on the same fucking wave, and you've got the same opportunity to fuck each other up.
Yeah, well, it adds that element of risk.
Oh,
So, if you miss, they can come after you.
personally, if I could bring a actual lion from Africa back into the country as my trophy and have the bank account to do it, I'd go hunt one of those fellas too. Just like you said, the fact that if I'm not on my A game that day, I am fucked.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
They get a whiff of you, and you're not on your A game. That's it. Boom.
That's fucking
You're
predator
fucking
versus
done.
predator, baby.
Yeah.
That's my kind of hunt.
Yeah.
It's like
I agree, man. Like completely. Fuck.
So, Dan, would you ever shoot like a giraffe or an elephant or something that was sort of lesser in terms of the apex?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
The missus actually, she's told me a couple times that because a lot of the giraffes you find that have been shot have been old bulls that aren't of any breeding use anymore.
Mm.
And she goes, I'd like to go and hunt one of those. And I heard a while ago, I haven't looked into it, but over in parts of Africa, I can't quite remember where, but you get what's called tuskless cow hunts, where you go elephants and it's a genetic thing. And that they go in, and instead of going for the alpha bull, you're going for, you can't just find the biggest prince and follow it. You got to find like the actual herd, find the one with the genetics issue, and then shoot it, and we'll hide or wait for the rest to leave. But a lot of that meat goes back into the communities over there. It's not like it gets wasted or anything.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm fine with it.
At the end of the day, being a meat hunter, like, okay, when you think it, like, I know where you're coming from, Ryan. You think about a giraffe, you think like, you could see it from fucking a mile away, like, because, it's just so big and it's, fucking obscure. And then you think that it's easy to stalk on it and things like that. I get that. So that, like, the appeal of that is lesser, but then you've got, as you said, like a tuskless elephant hunt that'd change it up. You know, that would make it different. And then you obviously, as you said, you know, feeding the community as well. And you're probably going to end up with some fucking nice tomahawk steaks.
Pretty cool story too. But the thing with that is it's putting a purpose behind the hunt. So yes, you're getting a unique species, but there's a reason, there's a strategy, there's a benefit for what you're doing. It's not just a senseless killing of an animal.
And then the cost as well. We've got to realise, you know, like an elephant hunt is like 60 grand or more. So, you know, and in Africa, they've got a percentage of that has to go back into the conservation of animals. And it's quite a large percentage. So
Yeah. A lot of fighting against poaching as well. Have you seen the new dogs that they run? They run dogs specifically trained to chase humans. Like, well, I suppose the cops have got that, but
Belgian Malinois or
I'm not. No, the video I watched had mixed breeds, but it's like a trial phase that they're in at the moment. But they're training these dogs to be able to pick up scents and like run on poachers and tree them, so that then the rangers come in and they find them and arrest them.
You track them from the shit.
What?
From the smell of the shit.
You track them from the smell of their shit.
Is that your best South African accent?
You track them from the smell of
Track them from the smell of their
smell
shit,
of their
bro.
shit. Yeah.
I don't know. I always get mixed up between Kiwi and African.
That's terrible, but also good.
Fuck.
But the whole thing about hunting in Africa is, like you said, a lot of the money does go back to conservation, and people don't realise that. They just see some person that went over there and paid X amount of dollars to kill some animal that people don't realise in certain parts of Africa are actually overpopulated.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
a lot of people don't realise that 1/3 of white rhinos in South Africa are actually on private land due to hunting and that. Because, well, hell, would you guys put up with giraffes, elephants, and rhinos, buffaloes tearing down your crops, or lions eating your cattle?
No.
And that the local farmers and that sure wouldn't. We don't put up with wild dogs killing sheep and stuff.
Yeah.
But if they've got a purpose and that, and the local farmers and stuff can see that purpose, why not? It's not that an animal belongs to that farmer when it's on their land. If it gets out, that farmer's lost that animal and that potential of revenue to hunt and stuff. It's not as, they're only there to kill. Yes, people do like to hunt. Who cares? Get over it. A lot of organisations don't do, like 10% of the money goes to what they actually say it goes to.
Yeah.
Where hunting, upwards of 95% goes back to it.
Who was it? Like, just on that, the whole charity sort of stuff and where it was Elon Musk recently said that someone called him out on if he contributed X amount of dollars, it'd end world hunger because someone had done the calculations, and he hit them back and said, if you can show me that money will go to ending world hunger and only to that, then I'll pay you the money. And he called them out on it. And then they didn't take him up on that because where that money goes is a majority of it doesn't actually go towards whatever it is that they're spruiking.
Well, it's like that the homeless population in LA, I think it is. There's like a massive budget to fix it. But the thing is, all those people that are in positions to fix it have like 6-figure wages, and then nothing gets to the homeless. And it's like, well, fuck.
Yeah, man.
So it's perpetuating this cycle.
Charity organisations for you through and through.
Yeah. You're a charity.
Sometimes.
We got to stop paying him.
But yeah, no, that was Elon Musk, and I forget which charity it was that called him out, like $6 billion. And he's like,
that's
I'll
the one.
sell all my stocks. I'll get $6 billion as long as we have transparency of where that money went.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, he's worth $142 billion. So, yeah.
Yeah, $6 billion ain't too much for him.
But
is it?
he's just as fucking, he's a weird cat, but he's such a straight shooter.
I think he's just smart, man.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
fuck yeah.
He's just quite intellectual and just,
Yeah, but he calls a fucking spade a spade. Oh, he doesn't.
If you're going to be worth 142 billion, you're probably not going to call a spade a fucking.
Mate, there are rich people out there who've made their money through calling things what they're not, and that's the whole that's how he cuts through all the bullshit. I think I like Elon. He sits close to my heart.
He's definitely on the spectrum.
Yeah, probably why he sits close.
Yeah.
To my heart.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Hashtag brothers.
He's better looking though.
Fuck.
Elon Musk is better.
Yeah, fucking oath.
While Ryan
You
chokes on
joking on Elon Musk, dick?
what are you choking on, Ryan? Fucking hell, bro.
For those playing at home, I'm choking on 19 Crimes wine, Shiraz.
2020 Shiraz. There you
9
go.
crimes is good.
It does go all right.
No, I was laughing and went down the wrong hole.
Been there.
You're not supposed to shelf it, man.
Been there. Up the wrong hole, not down the wrong hole. More so. Fucking hell. All right. I'll pour you some more. Anyway,
You're sitting.
we should stay relevant with our guests and not just worry about pouring ourselves drinks here. Now, have you boys got any more questions for Dan? Because I feel like we're sort of getting to that point where we've explored a few different avenues.
Dan, do you use beard oil?
Yes, I do.
What beard oil do you use?
Good man.
I actually get it off the internet. It's match grade. Comes from America. Just one that I found when I started growing it. I'm like, stuff it. I'll give it a go, see what happens. And yeah, don't mind it.
Match grade.
Match grade.
That is a sick name.
It sounds like to me a description of gunpowder. Match grade ammo. I think the smell of gunpowder.
I think that's on purpose.
Do you have a signature scent that you put in that luscious ginger beard?
Match grade.
Cookies and cream.
That's the brand. We want to know the
Woodland
smell.
tobacco.
oh, yes.
Yeah, buddy. Get some fucking lumberjack in you.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking hey.
Woodland tobacco.
Mate, I love that fucking subtle, musky, fucking tobacco-y fucking smell. That is,
Yeah.
yeah. Love it.
It's like just after you had a nice fresh pot.
It's manly.
You all just sound like smokers.
Caleb likes fucking real sugary, sort of like frangipani, little bit of fucking.
No.
It did drive a car with frangipani on.
Salted caramel is my favourite to put in my beard. I don't know where you're fucking going with this. Anyway, what an obscure question, but a good one.
I have to piss. I'm taking a leave of absence because I've had to hold a piss for like a fucking hour and a half now.
Oh, but you were going to hold it before because you're being professional, and now you're going to go take a piss.
It's gone beyond that.
Anyway, well,
I can piss on your couch if you want.
Nah,
I'll do it.
no, please don't.
That's where being outside's better. It's 3 steps and I can relieve myself.
I mean, if we moved this podcast to a lawned area, we could just piss on the ground underneath us.
What if we're going to do a poo?
Dig a hole under your chair.
That's still fertilizer.
Just surface turd that motherfucker.
Oh, I love it. And don't you just love the fact that Josh
As
has
long
left
as I don't have to see it.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'll be taking pictures.
Oh,
and
no,
sending it to
we
everyone.
like to share.
Yeah.
Now, don't you love the fact that Josh has gotten up rather than go to my toilet, he's gone outside to piss on the grass.
He was born in a tent.
There's a
How many steps is it to the grass opposed to the toilet?
the toilet's closer.
But it's not as
No,
natural.
fair enough.
But in his mind, it's somehow more manly to go piss on a lawn and assert
Is it
his
not?
dominance over the grass.
No.
Personally, privacy is taking a piss off your veranda without getting the cops showing up.
Wow. How often does that happen to you?
I've never had the cops show up. I take a piss off the veranda every night.
Yeah, good man. I've been known to take a piss off a jetty in suburban Adelaide.
Yeah, I piss everywhere.
But, I
I have no shame.
mean, you're pretty safe if you're on the end of a jetty. Really, the only person who's going to see you at night is someone on a boat or someone swimming nearby. You're pretty safe.
Um, And plus, it's got to be big enough to see.
Oi, look at that! Look at
There
that!
it is.
He's
Why
fucking
is
stung
that
me.
guy pouring a bucket of water into the sea?
He's got me with a zinger there. He's fucking stung me right on the tip of the dick. What's the weirdest place you've taken a piss?
Don't worry.
There's a question.
I've had plenty of people go, "Oh, what if I see it?" I look and go, "You're going to need binoculars to see it."
Yeah. What if I see it? You won't.
Exactly.
That is, what is the most obscure place you've pissed? Have you
That's
ever
a
just
tough one.
like
Just
drop the
everywhere.
window of the dozer and just fucking let it out? Like, yep, contributing my little bit.
Nah, I've got one.
Oh, here we go.
I've got two, actually. So the first one is Adelaide CBD. Some dude's front yard in the middle of the CBD when he was out front of his own house.
Watching you.
He was on the porch, and I was like, "Can I get away with this?"
Was this a paid job?
Was the
Did he
door,
do-
was
did he
the
pay
door
you?
painted
This is
red?
that night. It was fucking terrible. The second one was out of the car window when I was driving.
What?
You were driving?
Yep.
Out the car window.
It didn't
How?
end well. It didn't end. Well, I got a big dick, one, but two, it didn't end well.
Turn it up. I'm just imagining you
Because
pissing.
the bottom of the window sits at your shoulder height.
Fuck me, man. You can flex like your fucking hip and
Was the car moving or stationary?
moving.
So, have you heard of the term pissing in the wind?
Oh, actually,
That's a
when
thing.
I was young, I pissed in the back seat of a car in a Macca's Cup, and my mate fucking slammed the brakes on it. It's just going everywhere. Sorry, I'm just.
I thought you were going to say your mate
No,
drank it.
we haven't had a
me.
decent digression yet, so this is good. I've done the same. I've pissed in a bottle whilst in the car. That's obscure.
Yeah.
I think that's just road trip. That's pretty much.
Yeah, you got to. Sometimes you just got to do it.
What about you, Dan? You got an obscurity?
Yeah, there's actually a photo on my Instagram that I took, got plenty of likes, and at the time I'm taking a shit.
That's fucking gold.
The old bog view. I love it.
All right.
It just happened to be we were putting in a fence line and I needed to take a shit, so I jumped out. Yep, there we go. I'll take a shit right there. Hey, that's a nice view. Snap. Yep, put that up on Instagram.
All right.
Did you tell everyone that it was a shit view?
Well done,
I
Ryan.
told the missus.
We should all make a challenge up, actually. Who can come up with the best shit view?
Need a poo view.
Yeah, the best shit view. Post it up. We'll poll that shit.
People are just going to go get on the top of high-rise buildings and shit.
Oh, mate, the reverse kangaroo coming down a rise building. You can have races.
Now you've mentioned that, I kind of want to try it.
Shitting on a high-rise building.
Shitting off the side of a high-rise building.
You're just going to make sure the wind's blowing against the building so that...
No, so it goes
sticks.
right onto the fucking street.
Oh, that's a solid squash.
I reckon I got enough
Have
power.
a look. Suck down a lot of blue dye and make it look like it fell out of an aeroplane.
We have a thinker.
It's a
This
Boeing
guy
bomb.
is a thinker.
Fuck yeah.
No one's going to suspect anything if there's a heap of blue dye in it.
Hey, have you seen,
Where's-
is it Billy Madison where they throw the pickles on the window and then they have a race of them sliding down?
Oh,
It's
all
like-
right. Where's the nearest high-rise building? You're be. You're in this too. You've got to put your best fucking shit view fucking photo up.
Oh, we're roping Dan into this
Yeah.
challenge, are we?
Yeah,
do it.
absolutely.
There you go. I'll find. Now, it depends what you're talking about. Shit view. Are you talking about the shit or the view?
Oh, we've got a
It's-
backlog.
We've got to.
Pun intended.
Yes, there's a fair back catalogue of
We have a
shits.
catalogue. Yeah, it's yeah.
Those aren't for public distribution, though. I think there's a porn category called scat, and I don't think we want to be involved in that at all.
You posted a picture of me on the shitter tucking my cock between my legs today. And you're like, oh, hang on. We're not going to post our poo.
I feel like you've crossed the line.
All I was doing was I said on a podcast that I would use that photo against you at some point.
I laughed so hard when I saw it.
And
I was doing a poo at the time.
It seemed like the opportune moment to use that photo after you'd posted me just being sack tapped by Josh.
Oh, that was gold.
Oh, God, that hurt too. And I needed a piss so badly.
Go. I just screenshotted the post just to prove it's up there. And the sanity is.
Top work. Look at that. Maybe Dan is the fan checker, the fact checker we've always been after. Look at him. He's on it straight away.
Oh,
On it.
Don't tempt me with a challenge or a good time.
What if they're both at the same time?
Oh, mind blown.
Boom.
Uh,
I like what this is.
I don't need alcohol to make bad decisions. Trust me.
Neither do we, but when we drink, we make worse decisions.
Yeah, we don't make bad decisions. We make terrible ones.
We make fucking
Absolutely shocking.
You're non-drinker, man. It's not a non-drinker. It's just I don't drink that much.
Yep.
What was it? Last time I had any alcohol was probably, July, I think.
Oh, wow.
Never really appealed to me. Like, I don't go to pubs and that. It's 20-minute drive into town. And, just can't be bothered. I don't like big groups of people.
Mm. Yeah. No, I feel you. Just... don't ever start a podcast with your mates because then suddenly you're drinking.
It's so true.
Increase tenfold.
I
bought sugar-free fucking drinks tonight because we're drinking
drinks.
So much.
Well, the wine.
It's like a dick in a can.
No, we're drinking that much. I'm like, man, I can't handle the fucking sugar. I fucking... I can't.
We've had to self-police ourselves a little bit.
I like how our option was sugar-free or not sugar-free, not like alcohol content at all.
Nah, fuck that. You still got to drink.
All the gains I've made from now working a physical job, I'm just eroded by the amount we drink every Monday.
Dem gains.
Mate, you're not Arnold Schwarzenegger, all right? Settle the fuck down. You ain't got no gains.
The gains in losing weight. I've eroded that completely by drinking.
Fatter.
Fuck off.
Shit.
Anyway.
Fuck it. Just enjoy it.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
I don't want to not enjoy
rock
myself.
that dad bod.
I do. Trust me.
Summer, mate. Summer.
Why is it everything tastes good is bad for you?
Fucking oath.
It's true.
Fucking oath. And all the best foods are shaped like penises.
Zucchini?
No, I mean pasta bake does
fucking
not.
cabana
Pasta bake
and shit.
Pasta bake doesn't look like a dick.
Metwurst, cabana.
Maybe it's just you, Josh.
Corn dog.
Is there something you want to tell us?
Steak's not shaped like a dick.
Are we coming out of the closet?
It's a safe space. We're amongst friends here.
Or are we coming in the closet?
Do you want to say something, Josh?
Coming in your closet.
Oh, God. All right. I think it's about time we start wrapping this puppy up. Boys, do you have any more questions for Dan?
Many, but
I think
probably for off fucking mic.
Yeah.
Off mic. Dan, we'll throw this back to you. Do you have any questions for us as an avid listener of the podcast?
Yes, Caleb has a chode. Can confirm.
I'm starting to think you got a bit of a chode too. You're starting to advocate for a massive cock.
Yeah.
Never, ever denied the fact that I have a small dick. I said I pissed out a window though.
I'm still baffled as to how you did that.
So all this means is he's short enough to stand on it. He's short enough to stand on a chair and still not bump his head on the roof of a car and piss out a window.
Mate, if there's a will, there's a way, all right?
That's a real can-do attitude you got there.
You don't realise that the piss hits the
the
side of
only embarrassing thing you should ever worry about? Walking into a wall with a hard on and breaking your nose.
Yes. Wise words.
Having said that, do you know you can break your dick?
Yeah, I've done it.
What?
Yes.
Yep.
Hang on, we're learning something. Dan, you've unearthed something here. Ryan, we do not know.
Yeah.
We've never heard this story.
I probably shouldn't talk about this. with a
Shallow
microphone.
vagina was
No.
involved? No?
No, it was like, you know how like
No, it was a male's anus.
so I was fucking this guy called Rodriguez, and he was like, he had the tightest buns you'd ever fucking see. You know, like the sort of shit you'd break a coconut on.
Did
Well,
he ever
apparently
fu-
they break dicks as well.
Was he on codeine for like a week straight, so he was backed up?
No, I was on coke, so I was like fucking ripped, like off my head, just fucking. So Rodriguez was like, I was going hammer and tong, and then you know how like you go so hard that it comes out, but then you don't know until you're like all the way through the next thrust. Well, because his ass was so hard, I hit his ass. It was like hitting concrete, and then it broke my dick.
The fact that you didn't have to think about this actually makes me think you do name Rodriguez.
That was seamless, which is quite disturbing in itself. But what we want to know is what a broken penis. All you had to tell us was what a broken penis involved. You didn't have to give us the backstory. What does it involve?
I'm sorry, Rodriguez. I love you.
Fucking hell.
What does it
Not
involve?
like broken. I bruised it pretty bad.
You bruised it.
Like same concept. Like just come out, hit something that it didn't go into, and then bent.
Well, let's come out and wrap this shit up, eh?
On that strange note of breaking your penis, we should probably end this podcast with Dan, who's been gracious enough to put up with 2 hours of
Fuckery.
talking to us about God knows what. And Dan, we have to thank you for spending these last 2 hours with us.
Absolute champion, sir. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, buddy.
Not a problem.
And-
Always like the humour.
Beautiful. And
Dead set, we should like catch up and have a beer, eh?
mate, if we're in your neck of the woods, we will definitely pop in for a beer.
And you
And likewise, if you're over here. Now,
Oh, yeah.
fucking, where was I going with this? I don't bloody know. Oh, thanks for fucking listening to the podcast
Yeah.
and interacting with us. People, Dan is a prime example of what we love.
Yeah. That's Josh is just motioning on sucking on a cock that is big enough that you can't put your hand all the way around it. That's like some horse dick shit, right?
He's had too much of the 19 crimes. I'm still functioning
I
as
want
usual.
some more 90 crimes.
Well, you want someone?
Yeah, basically.
How do they know there was 19 of them?
I mean, I don't know how much sensible talking I need to do to prove that I can handle my alcohol better than you, Josh. But anyway, I'm wrapping this podcast up. I'm thanking Dan for spending 2 hours with us, for listening to the podcast, for being a good motherfucker, for doing his bit, fighting fires. That's a fucking awesome effort in itself. We've got to say thanks for that as
Yeah,
well.
thank you very much, man.
And guys, this is the final episode, as we mentioned, of season 3. Of course, we're going to be back for a season 4. Before that, we'll do a cheeky little Christmas special.
Stay tuned on our Insta for all the fucking fun and games of festive season.
Yeah. And if you're still looking for a stocking filler, yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
very nice. You just inched that in like you did into fucking
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez's arm.
Inched
There
it
was
in
no
all,
inching, buddy. It was all ground and pound.
thrust all 2 inches in before he broke it.
Having said that, that is our new limited edition line of Send It Mate chopping boards. I call them meat boards. So if you want a stocking filler, jump in and fucking get one for your man or your lady. They'll love it.
It is, yeah, one of a kind that we're running a limited edition on. Let us know what you think and buy one.
Guys, I think it's time. Let's end this thing. Thanks for listening. Go back and listen to our back catalogue of episodes while we're in a bit of a hiatus. By all means.
You're not in a
Absolutely.
fucking bus.
What?
You weirdo. Why are you in a hiatus?
Oh, Stop stealing my job, man.
Worst joke of the season.
Is Caleb.
Get it all out there. Anyway, we'll be back with season 4, bigger and better than ever. Thanks for listening. Big thanks to Dan. You've been awesome.
Thanks, motherfucker!
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Thanks, mate. All right.
Jeez, where is your fucking awesome,
Where's your fucking?
awesome?
Josh, what is your final word of season 3?
Nah, it's a banger. Lick a fucking tit!
Whoa! Do it.
Lick a tit, do it. Find the closest tit to you and lick it.
Peace out. Love you guys.
See you next season.
Catch ya.
G'day, dude and dudettes. Josh here. Do you find it hard to keep your long, hard barrels free from gun STDs? Maybe you need a clean out of your bore. If this is you, jump on over to highcaliber.com.au and use the promo code SENDITMATE to receive a 10% discount on all your gun cleaning needs. And remember, it's sexy to support Australian-made products. Everyone here at Send It Mate uses High Caliber, and we can promise you that it'll keep your firearms free from those pesky gun STDs.